welcome back to Kanika's Corner. This is a really interesting video for me because I'm talking about how we can make our baby's first birthday stress-free, easy for all of us, and I'm also going to talk about how we made our baby's birthday zero waste one. We had absolutely no waste going out anywhere out of the house. Celebrating, the first birthday is such an exciting affair for the parents, grandparents, close relatives and friends. I've had friends and family members who manage these big birthday parties in halls with lots of people, all dressed up, and their little ones did great through it. But knowing my little ducky, I realized that that was not the thing for her. So we had a little celebration at home. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed it. Most importantly, the babies loved it and enjoyed themselves. So these are my tips for making your baby's first birthday as comfortable and easy as possible. Tip number 1, invite, family and friends that you are close to. Don't worry about formality and, having to invite everyone on the list because then you're not going to enjoy yourself. Tip number 2, choose a date that works for you and don't worry about having it on the date of the birthday. Just choose a day that is comfortable for you, that your friends and family can also enjoy and take that time off. Tip number 3, while we would love to see our babies in special clothing, it's really important that they're just comfortable. At the end of the day, a happy baby makes the event all the more memorable. So put them into something comfortable. You wear something that is easy, that you can run around with, and everyone's that much happier. Tip number 4, choose a location that is comfortable for you, that is familiar to the baby. For my baby's birthday, we chose my parents' house where she's been running around and growing up in for the last year. And she thoroughly loved it because she knew every nook and cranny. She knew that, this is where I'm going to go, this is what I'm going to do. And it just makes the day that much happier for her that she's not in a strange environment. Tip number 5 is all about food. How do you choose the menu that you want? I would say really simple. Choose what your baby loves to eat and choose what you love to eat. That's it. Don't worry about anything fancy, anything big. Enjoy what you are going to be serving. And what we made to ensure that it was zero waste was that we had steel plates, glasses, spoons, cups, everything that was reusable. Some that our caterer brought in and some that we had here at home itself. So try and keep your waste to the minimum. And it just makes you feel so much more satisfied at the end of the day when you're not chucking out a whole bag of trash after the cleanup. One of the things that we did was we had corn on the cob as a snack, and just because all the children love to bite into it and go chop, 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 chop. So what we also did as an added step was the leaves that the corn comes wrapped in. We took that and we gave it to cows close by in our locality to eat. Why waste that? And we decided, why should we shred it and put it for compost when we actually have cows who will eat it and make wonderful cow dung out of it. Tip number 6, if you would like to have a cake, then try and make it out of natural ingredients or get it from a place that makes it out of natural ingredients. Don't have too much of fondant or food coloring because you want your little one to enjoy it, and you don't want it to be full of preservatives. You want them to be able to go in and eat it or be able to give them as big a slice of it as they want. So have it as child friendly as you can. So the way I made Ducky's cake child-friendly was I made an orange cheesecake. Oranges are in season here. So I just make a cheesecake out of hung curd, biscuits, and I also made little chocolate shards as decoration. And when we cut that cake, she was so excited by it that she picked up one chocolate shard and relished it until it was all gone. She refused to let it go. So to me, I did not mind her eating that because that was a piece of chocolate decoration that I had made at home. The cheesecake was all made here. So later on in the day when she saw my grandfather eating it, ran up to his plate and wanted to take a bite out of it. Perfectly okay. It's all homemade. So we have a history with homemade cakes for our first birthday. My mom made my first birthday cake and I have now got the chance to make my daughter's. And being someone who loves to bake, this was absolutely exciting that, I could have a homemade cake made for her. Tip number 7 is all about the strength of the gathering, or how many people do you call. So if you have a large circle of friends and family like I do, just break them up into groups. So what we did was those family and friends who live in the same colony as ours and those in our immediate circle, we called them on the day of her birthday. And because it was a smaller gathering, it's 30 people. I know that's still a large number, but for us that is a smaller gathering. What we did was had a couple of snacks at home, and of course I loved making a majority of them because this was a very a doable number, and I loved cooking for all of them. But we basically had that group on one day, and 2 weeks later we had all of our friends and family who are otherwise working and find a weekday difficult. We chose a Sunday for all of them to come across, and we had about 55 people that day. But it's at home, it's an open space, we have a beautiful open garden, and so we had all the children running around there, and it did not feel crowded. So just break your groups up into smaller parties. You enjoy it, you get to spend some one-on-one time with people, and everyone just has a total ball. Tip number 8. Keep the day simple. Don't have a strict schedule or a lot of activities that you want to do or a lot of games. You never know how your baby is going to be reacting, or what you need to be running behind, what you need to be doing. So just have a few loose things. Make sure that you have delegated things to other friends and family. Let them take care of some of these things, and it makes it so much simpler. So we had friends of ours from Pune. They actually introduced us, both my husband and me, they introduced us. And they came down for this occasion from with their 3.5-year-old daughter. And I just handed over the games for children to them. I said, you guys take care of it. And very simply, all that we did was we had a trampoline out, we had a slide out, we had a Gymkhana put out, and then they brought sketch pens and drew on children's hands. That's it. That was the games that we played with all the children that we had, and we had about 18 children ranging from 6 months to 12 years, and they all had fun. They actually had the most fun just running behind each other and jumping on the trampoline and taking turns, and there were no fights that we had to referee or any injuries that we had to take care of. Tip number 9 is about decorations. Keep the decorations to a minimum, keep it simple. What tends to happen with first birthday parties is we as parents get carried away. Our baby is not going to notice all of that. Our baby is going to notice that we are running around in different directions and not, being present with them. So all that we did for decorations was that we have these little plastic strings that are used for water harvesting, and we just roped it around the house. For one event, we got local marigold flowers, and we put them on a wire and hung it up around the house. And the happy birthday banners that we put up everywhere were those that are now 30 years old that we've been using for all of our birthdays. So there is a legacy inbuilt in all of that. There were no new decorations as such that we bought. And it still looked like a very festive place that, there was a celebration being held. We also had this board on which we had everyone sign their names and sort of tell us that they had come. So instead of a greeting card, which some people wanted to give, we just did this. And it was such fun for the children to actually come and write their names that some of them said, hey, I don't want my parent writing my name. I want to write my name. So, total enjoyment on all sides. So the last and the most important tip, do not stress yourself out. If you are stressed out, then those vibes get passed on to your baby, who then becomes cranky. And we know that a cranky baby can disrupt a whole lot of things. So keep it simple, make yourself happy, your baby is thoroughly happy, and all that our 1-year-olds want to do is run around. They don't want to be constricted to anything, being told, okay, do this. Just let them have a ball, let them out, let them do whatever they want. We enjoy it, they enjoy it. What more can we ask for? Through all this planning, I kept one key point in mind, that first birthday party is more for the adults than it is for the child. So, keep it as simple as possible, have loads and loads of fun. And I hope that these tips help you plan and celebrate a beautiful, joyous occasion for your little one's milestone.